Welcome to another episode of the Read Pile. I have here Dragon Ball Super Volumes 13 and 14. 13 is kind of boring. But, so it's the middle section, honestly. The whole beginning and the very tail end of this I did find fantastic. So, at the end of Volume 12, we have Moro and a bunch of criminals on Earth. And everyone had broken off into individual fights. Those continue. Those get resolved here at the beginning of 13. And it's pretty great to see. Just everyone winning various matches. There's this amazing moment with Tenshinhan and Chaozu. And Chaozu actually is the one that defeats this giant robot. It's spectacular. It's amazing. Kame has a great moment fighting the three women. He actually blindfolds himself so he doesn't get distracted. It's fantastic. And then we've got the androids fighting Moro. Goku then shows up and he helps mop up the remaining fights that hadn't quite concluded yet. So Goku shows up on Earth, finally. And it's great. There's a brilliant moment with Krillin and Goku and the sort of the power of friendship. It's spectacular. But then we get to this middle chunk where it's mostly Goku fighting this guy who's been powered up by Moro, or it's Goku versus Moro himself, and they're pretty evenly matched. And there's a bunch of kicks and kicks and punches exchanged, and some energy flying back and forth. And This is where I got bored, kind of. But the very tail end of this is Vegeta and the end of his training and his attempts to get back to Earth, which are hilarious and fantastic. I loved all of this. And we do get, at the very end here we go. No, not that. Vegeta back on Earth, and he's ready to go. And then the book ends. Book 14 is much better. It's I don't know. There's more talking. There's more teamwork. There's more variety than just a huge one-on-one fight, and that is some of my favorite Dragon Ball moments. So it's a lot of Vegeta versus Moro, and he is now in his powered-up state. He has a secret move. And it's working, and everything is going really well. And you can see some of it here, and the beard is back. All of that gets explained, what is happening and why. And Vegeta, he definitely has the upper hand. And like I said, things are going well. But then this guy who had been in Moro's back pocket comes back into play, and now kind of a final form Moro shows up, and then Mirrors shows back up, and like just so many people get involved in this. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about, all of this stuff, it's all fantastic, right? So one of my favorite all-time moments of Dragon Ball, specifically the show, because it unfolds a bit differently in the manga, which I have at hand here, but it's this dueling Kamehameha between Cell and Gohan. So this is the very end of the Cell saga. They're both throwing these Kamehamehas at each other. Everyone else is on a cliff overlooking the fight. And in the show, everyone's sort of helplessly looking on from the outside as Gohan, this child, is fighting the Cell, the most, at this point, powerful creature being that they've ever fought before. And Vegeta specifically is sort of frozen in his helpless state. And I believe in the show it's Tenshinhan that moves first, but he goes flying off the cliff. He's like, I've got to do something. So he goes flying off the cliff and throws energy at Cell, which Cell completely ignores. And then slowly everyone else goes off. Yamcha, Piccolo, everyone goes off. They're shooting at Cell in addition to this Kamehameha that Gohan is throwing. And there's this brilliant moment, but Cell's ignoring everything until this moment right here, because it was Vegeta that attacked. So Vegeta overcomes his frozen state and he gets involved, and that is the moment that Cell gets distracted and Gohan finally overpowers Cell, and it's amazing. It's one of the reasons that I love Vegeta. Is he's certainly unhappy with his second place state, right? But he's always looking to overcome. He's got so he's kind of the permanent underdog, and he's not happy with being there, and he's always trying to, you know, he has the princely pride as well. So he's like, even though he feels helpless, he's like, I can't just sit here and do nothing, and the act of overcoming that is one of the reasons that I like Vegeta so much. So there's a bunch of great Vegeta stuff in book 14, and there's a bunch of teamwork stuff going on, and at the end of this we have the silver-haired Goku again, so it seems like the Moro thing is finally on its last legs. We should finally get resolution in book 15, volume 15, which, based on covers and skimming, I think is where it finally ends. But this 13, I enjoyed the beginning and end, but the middle chunk I found mostly boring. And book 14 I loved. There's a huge ton of just fantastic moments, especially the team effort type stuff. Whenever they're all they're losing quite a bit of this. But Vegeta, when he has the upper hand, and it's very much like Cell, Frieza, it's like all of them, right? Someone will have the upper hand, and then they'll have a conversation of, oh, you weren't fighting at full strength. Well, neither was I. Oh, I'm being beaten. Well, I have one more power up to go. So it's all of that should be behind us at this point. And I think volume 15, things are finally going to be resolved. And I'm looking forward to it, but I especially like the new state of Vegeta by the end of this, and I'm looking forward to whatever comes next. I still have some hints, like I know Frieza Black is coming. Frieza's not my favorite case. It's probably my least favorite of the Dragon Ball characters, but whatever. I still know a couple of things that are coming. Ultra Ego still hasn't materialized yet, but I'm in a hopeful state. I do, because this is the end, this is the very tail end of the 4th of July weekend. I've shot enough of these videos now with the 4-day weekend that I've bought myself probably a couple of months of these videos, and I'm going to read some longer things. So it might be, for me, a bit longer before I get back to reading Dragon Ball Super, but these videos come out on a weekly basis, so it's probably going to be like 2 months before this comes out. Anyway, once again, I'm especially enjoying reading Dragon Ball. Again, it's just, this one's far better than this one. So, I still recommend it. If anyone is interested in reading Dragon Ball, the manga is great. And as a long-term Dragon Ball fan, I'm having a blast reading new stuff again.